Hi, I'm Matt.
Hey there, I'm Bianca.
And in this episode, we're talking about our recent trip back to Club Sapphire because it's reopened.
We're also going to be talking about alcohol within the lifestyle, so stay tuned.
What a party it was.
Oh my goodness, it was so good coming back, being here.
Yes.
With like more people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we went to the first parties and
Yes.
they're working out and they're kind of awesome. Yeah. We were a little concerned. Mm-hmm. I think as most people were. Concerned isn't the right word.
No, just like not really knowing exactly what to expect and how it's going to go and
a little nervous. Yeah, but it ended up being amazing.
Yes. So we closed the place down.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, like not
hard to do. Not hard to do. But yeah, it's kind of awesome. The amount of people that showed up, obviously sellouts and, because they have a smaller amount of people, but still it was, full and everybody was having a good time.
Absolutely.
The mask issue didn't seem to be an issue at all. People were in their own little groups. And,
I think everybody's kind of getting used to everything anyways. So,
they did say 80 to 90% of the people that actually showed up had already had at least one of the vaccination shots. So
and that's just going to go up, I would think.
Yeah.
As more and more people are able to get vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
So they did give you a little sticker that like ours had 2 V's on it. I thought there was some sort of they were concerned with virgins or something.
Sexy code.
But no, it just meant we had both of our shots.
Yeah.
So so that you could kind of like see, if you were concerned and you were talking to someone, you could see if they had 1 shot or 2 shots or no shots. So
and something else that actually was a genius idea. Whoever thought of it needs a pat on the back because we've seen ideas over the years here and in other clubs where people talk about, should we wear a special bracelet that says I don't want to talk to people, or I do want to talk to people, or we're brand new, or we like to have sex with everyone who's in, that we find. And people talk about, is it a good idea to have bracelets or not, that type of thing. But someone came up with the idea of candles, these little plastic candles that either had green lights or red lights, and a green meant come up and talk to me, and red said okay, stay away. I'm comfortable here, but I don't particularly want to be approached. And honestly, I think we saw maybe 1 or 2.
I saw several red lights, but it was more of people just accidentally pushing the button,
and
then running back and saying, "Can I have another one? Can I have another one?"
I need it to be green.
So if you do come and you get your little light and you accidentally change it to red, you can go ask for a different one. They'll fix it for you.
Perfect.
So just because things kind of happened and slowed down and clubs closed and that kind of stuff, it doesn't mean that people stopped wanting to be in the lifestyle and discovering the lifestyle. I mean, I've talked to several people who became a part of, became swingers or whatever during all of this, everything going on. And then they were able to come to the club for the first time. And what a great experience for them too, So everybody was so excited to be able to talk to one another and meet people. And just like, for us, a lot of people we haven't seen in over a year. So it was just like, it was a nice family reunion. Of sorts.
And then, of course, the alcohol is that was the big question that a lot of people had, and that was definitely different. I haven't run into that before, where they have a kind of a dry bar basically, no alcohol. And whether that changes or not, or how quickly that changes, that remains to be seen. But it was interesting, definitely dealing with that. They had. Was it non-alcoholic everything? They
did. They even had non-alcoholic beer and wine. I tried a porter. It wasn't bad. Would have been better with some alcohol in it.
The beer would have been better with beer in it. Yeah.
I tried the Moscato, and it just tasted like fizzy juice. Like it would have been better with some vodka in it, but not an option. And then I had a couple of the signature cocktails that the bartenders were making and mixing, and oh my gosh, they were so good. Like I didn't realize that they make like whiskey alternative or gin alternative. And I seriously would go purchase these things now so that if I wasn't drinking for some reason but felt like having a cocktail, that I could have that. I thought it was such a great idea. I really thoroughly enjoyed having, for me, sometimes like I don't drink soda, so going to a dry bar, you know, it's water or nothing if they're not
Right.
serving alcohol or drinks. So for me to have the option of having these fancy drinks, it was nice. I tend to feel, I get nervous. We all know me a little bit. I'm nervous and shy.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, and I know I'm not the only one, having something in your hand, like a cocktail or whatever, it just helps.
Okay.
When you're feeling uncomfortable, you can take a sip or whatever. So having, and it felt fancier. You know, it felt like, I didn't miss the alcohol, to be quite honest. I thought I might, but I really didn't. The nice thing about it was I didn't feel like drunk or anything. And I mean, I don't
Well,
get,
that's
I
good.
don't get drunk. I don't personally like to. But you know, I didn't feel. I don't know. Like I didn't mind it. It didn't bother me. I did have a glass of wine or two before we left for the club.
Okay.
But it takes, you know, like 45 minutes to get here from where we live.
Sure.
So, you know.
So it had worn off at that point.
I guess. I don't know. But I just, for me, I didn't personally need to have vodka or wine or anything
Right.
while I was here.
Yeah.
But having the fancy cocktails did make it feel a little bit more.
Sure. Okay. So how do you feel about alcohol and the lifestyle in general?
You know, I know a lot of people gravitate towards the liquid courage, right? And I know I've probably said the same thing, like it's nice to have a little liquid courage. But honestly, I don't know if I feel like I need the liquid courage. We've been doing this long enough that I don't feel like I need that, like, courage per se.
Okay.
I just know that, like, for me, it's kind of like you come here and it's like fun, party, mellow mood. And so I usually would have a couple glasses of wine or whatever throughout
Right.
the evening while we're here, but I've never personally liked getting drunk. I've never felt like that's a good idea. I don't want to be the person getting sick in the corner of the room or in the bathrooms or whatever. Like, so drinking too much has never been, I'm not that much of a party girl, you
Okay.
know, like that's just not my thing. I don't want to feel hungover the next day. But I also feel like a lot of people are not concerned, but really trying to make sure consent. That's a huge word within the lifestyle. And I've talked to some people who say that they won't even play with someone if they've been drinking because they're not 100% sure that the consent is there. So, I mean, that's something to think of too, is if you're, you know, if you've had too many cocktails, are you comfortable giving consent? You know, are you comfortable accepting consent? Like, you know, something to think about.
Sure, and there's many levels of drunk.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And as you had mentioned, liquid courage, because
Yeah.
there have definitely been situations that you and I have been to where you having a couple of drinks got you loose enough
Right.
that you were okay approaching other people,
Sure.
that you were okay, you know, going and, you know, grinding on someone or
Yeah.
whatever you might do to kind of flip things on, and that you probably wouldn't be brave enough to do without alcohol.
Right.
But does that matter?
I mean, I think if we're all in the same boat, right? We're all here for the same reason. Maybe it would get us all over being shy. You know, we're all like, maybe it's a good thing
Okay.
to like, you know, if we're all on the same level, because none of us are having our cocktails,
Right.
then, you know, someone's got to make the first move, right? We came here for a reason.
Sure.
And so maybe it will encourage people to come out of their shell a little bit more.
Because you don't have that. It's like the
Yeah.
Dumbo feather, like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, okay. It wasn't the feather the whole time, or whatever, or every other cartoon stereotype they've done that.
I mean, I did have a couple, like, I don't know, 3 of the cocktails that they made, the mocktails that they made.
Yeah.
And I was feeling a little something, but I think it was the sugar.
The sugar. That's
So I
possible.
don't normally drink much sugar,
Sure.
sugary things. So that was my thing, is like, I mean, it's obviously not the alcohol. And it could have just been, I was excited to be here. We were having a good
Yeah.
time and all that. So, you know, I felt a little buzzy, but it wasn't from the alcohol because there was no alcohol.
Well,
Energy.
Yeah, I get you, and I feel that alcohol, for me, you know, I'm not a huge alcohol person. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. I liked the drinks that they made, mainly because they were the pineapples and orange juices and things put together like you'd have at a bar that those are the types of drinks that I personally like to drink.
Yeah.
Do I need that liquid courage? Personally, no. But
you don't usually, even when we come here on a regular night.
I might have a glass or two of something.
You might, but most nights you don't.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the factor is not that one drink would do this, but I don't want whiskey dick.
Right.
I mean, that's the last thing I want if things go forward and I start playing with someone else that I want all my, not only do I not want whiskey dick, or what's the girl version?
I was calling it vodka vagina.
Vodka vagina.
It doesn't roll off the tongue. I keep working on it.
Yeah, keep working on that one. But I don't want whiskey dick. But I also, more than anything, I want to remember everything that happens.
Right.
I want the enjoyment that I personally, and honestly everyone I talk to, gets from coming to Club Sapphire or other lifestyle places is that it's so much fun, it's so enjoyable, everybody has a big smile on their face the whole time that they're here, and you want to enjoy, you want to take all that in.
Right.
And I find that I have definitely met many people who have had one too many in the evening at wherever it might be, and they might be having a blast right then, but you ask them the next day and they don't remember any of it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, that to me isn't as much fun, because I have so much fun, just fun is the right word, coming to places like this, that I just don't care about that at all. But I can understand why people do, and I can understand why while you're getting dressed before the evening, you'll always have a glass of wine or two as you're doing your 3 hours in the makeup.
Oh, it's not 3 hours, please.
2.5 hours in the makeup and hair and all that kind of stuff. And I totally get that, because it's part of your process.
Right.
And that makes the evening more enjoyable for you.
Mm-hmm.
And if that works for the individual, then hey, that's great. That's great. Some to each his own.
Well, it's the same as if you knew you were going to come out to the club, but you wanted to go out to dinner first. Mm-hmm. You'd have a cocktail or two at dinner, most likely, and then you'd come here.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing for me. Mm-hmm. Like, I enjoy having a cocktail or a glass of wine while I'm getting ready.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. So, it like I said, it really wasn't that big of a deal, and everybody seemed to have fun without it. And whether people drank beforehand or whatever they might have done, that's to each his own. That's what they did, and it worked out, and it's working out really well for everyone. And the Fridays and Saturday nights here now are busy again, and it's exciting. And if you actually go to www.clubsapphire.net, and you can see all the upcoming parties that are happening. They're back on the calendar. Everything's opening up, and they're doing it again. And they're talking about expanding other days of the week soon. And it's just it's slowly getting back to normal.
Yes.
And so, if you haven't been to Club Sapphire yet, I really, really suggest that you obviously how comfortable you are being around other people. If you are comfortable being around other people, please do come out to Club Sapphire and see all your friends. Yeah. And if you've never been here before, meet friends.
Meet all the people.
Because everybody wants to say hi, because that's how awesome it is here. Oh, and the playrooms are packed.
Yes.
They're packed. Yeah, that was not an issue.
No.
Was not an issue.
People still want to play.
And they're cleaning like crazy, and they've got a whole crew that comes in after everybody, and
Make sure everything's safe and sanitary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So go to clubsapphire.net, see the different parties that are happening. And of course, in the back end of Club Sapphire's website, you can talk to other people, and you can say, hey, we're going to be at the party next Saturday, or whatever it might be, and connect with people that way. It's perfect.
Yeah.
All right, well, anything else you want to say?
No.
All right, well, thank you so much for watching.
We'll see you soon.
We'll see you next time.